All right, I've recorded this video like 3 times already, but I keep forgetting to press the microphone button. So hopefully this one you can actually hear me. All right, so like I promised, if I got, you know, a bunch of views, I was gonna post a solution to the final. All right, so here is one of the problems from the final where you're gonna need to draw a box plot given the set of data below. Okay, so very similar to like the one we did in class about Barry Bonds and the home runs that he hit in his career. So far, when I created this problem last year, this was up to date. Okay, so during his 18-year career, Albert Pujols has hit 620 home runs. Here's the number of home runs that he has hit each season, right? So every season here is represented by a certain value. Okay, so when we're creating a box plot, the first thing you're looking for is your min and your max. Okay, so let's identify those real quick. Okay, let's highlight them. I see right here the minimum is 6, and I can go ahead and write that in the box. And then I notice that my max is going to be 49. Okay, so then we can also draw that into the box. All right, so now that's good, but we need to also now arrange them from least to greatest, because now the next most important piece is Q2. Okay, once we have Q2, then we can find Q1 and Q3, and then that'll help us finish up the box plot. Okay, so the first value that we start with is going to be 6. After that, I think 17 comes next. Then, let's see, something in his 20s. Let's see, I think the next number is going to be 28. All right, after that, I think he has 30, then 31, 32. Let's see, I see a 34. Let's see, 35, 36. Nope. Okay, so now I see a few 37s. I see 3 of them actually. Okay, so we list out each one of those. Okay, now let's see, we're getting closer to 40. So 40, 41, 42, 43, 46, 47, and 49. Okay. All right. So now that they're listed least to greatest, make sure you count back to make sure that you have 18 values in this list, because you started with 18 numbers, so you should have 18 in your list. All right. Just double check, make sure you don't make any mistakes here. Okay. See, like I made a mistake. I just realized I forgot right here number 23. Okay. So let me go back here. Let me include it. 6, 17, 23. Okay, so now I think I've included every number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, so we're good. So now moving forward, let's start crossing out values because we're looking for our median. So we need to start by crossing out values from each end. I'm going to go by 2s just to make this go a little bit quicker. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and notice that I end up with those 2 values in the middle. Okay, so what I need to do now is add them up and divide by 2. Okay, so over here on the side, 37 plus 37 divided by 2. Okay, that ends up being 74, but when you divide that by 2, you're back to 37. Okay, so that tells you that right through here, right? Remember, if you end up with 2, you're drawing a line through 37s, those 2 37s, and that's where your Q2 is going to be. Okay, and it just so happens to be 37 again. All right, so we can draw that into the box. Okay, that way you keep track of all of your data. All right, so now that you found Q2, you need to find Q1. Okay, so let's go ahead, and since I drew the line between these 2 37s, now the next thing is to push this 37 over to the left and include it as part of this list. Okay, so now I start crossing off and I'm working my way towards the center looking for my Q1. Okay, and now I see that 30 is going to be that value. All right, so I have 30 as Q1. All right, and now we want to do the same thing for Q3. Okay, so let's start crossing off 37, 49, 37, 47, 40, 46, 41, and 43. Okay, so we end up here with a Q3 of 42. Okay, and then here I have IQR, and the reason why I'm putting it there is because there's going to be a problem below where you're going to need IQR. Okay, you're going to need to find some outliers. All right, so to find the IQR, remember that you're simply just going to take, actually let's do a different color here. If I'm looking for the IQR, it is simply Q3 minus Q1. Okay, Q3 minus Q1, that is going to be 42 minus 30. So you have an interquartile range of just 12. Okay, so you want that information, you're going to use it. It's going to be useful for problem number 5. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to erase some of this so I have room for my box plot. Okay, don't need this anymore. All right, so now that I have all this information, notice that down at the bottom there's a number line, okay, but it doesn't have any values written on it, so you need to do it, okay? So since my minimum is 6 and my max is 49, I'm going to start with 5, okay, and I'm going to go by 5s until I get to 50, okay? So I start at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. Okay? It's really important that you space them apart about as equal as possible. If you have a ruler, use something consistent. Okay? I did mine kind of quick. I have some gaps here that are a little bit bigger than others. Okay? But for the most part, it's pretty consistent. Okay? Make sure you do this. You have to create a number line. Okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and plug in some of these values. All right, so if my minimum is 6, let me create like a little tally right here, and we can go ahead and plot that point right above. All right, so we can call that the min. You can label it. Okay, for the max, which is 49, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, I have a tick mark down here. That'll be my 49. Label that as my max. Okay, for Q1, remember that's at 30. So at 30, I put a point here, label that Q1. Okay, at Q3, which is 42, let me make a couple of tick marks right here. And I have my Q3. Okay, and then finally, Q2, which is 37. All right, so I'm going to plot that one in red, but first let me make a couple of tick marks here. And there it is. Okay, we're at Q2. Okay, so now from here, it's real easy. Okay, the box extends from Q3 all the way over to Q1. Okay, I missed the point a little bit. Let me darken it. Okay. All right. I need a vertical line that goes through Q2. Okay, so that line needs to be there. Okay, inside the box. And then finally, you're just going to connect Q1 all the way to your minimum. Okay, it's a long way. All right, and that's because you don't have a lot of values between this minimum and Q1, right? It's a really big stretch. All right, so think about this value down here. Maybe it's a possible outlier, right? We don't know for sure. You need to calculate it, and you're gonna show me that later on a different problem, okay? But just keep that in mind, right? It might be, right? Because it's so far away from all of the other data, okay? And then the whisker, then you connect it from Q3 to your max, all right? And if you show me all that, then you'll get full credit for this, okay? So I'm going to give you, this problem is only worth 4 points, okay? So you need to make sure that you get these values here correctly, all right? If you do this incorrectly, but you draw the box plot based on the information that you got here, then I'll give you most of your credit, okay? But make sure you do not make mistakes here. This is the most important part, okay? Watch the video, study it. Okay, good luck on either Tuesday or Wednesday.